After the third season of Barney and Friends, the show went on a hiatus yet again. That wasn't until around September of 1996 that a fourth season of Barney and Friends will be made, and it will be handled by a larger company called Lyric Studios, and that is why we are here today. So why not discuss the changes and the cast and crew and see what Barney and Friends season 4 has in store for us. Barney and Friends season 4 went into production in April of 1997, and after 4 months, it ended in August later that year. The school, the playground, and the treehouse have been given a major upgrade. The inside of the school is more appealing to look at. The playground looks so natural with the addition of a bench around the tree, and the treehouse is, oh my god, it is amazing. And this is my favorite incarnation. No question, no doubt. There is so much to do, like pretending, drawing, and even adding an outside deck into the treehouse. It is so darn cool. Now on to the dino characters. Barney gained 3 costumes in this season, and one of them are completely different, so why not talk about the first one? This particular costume of Barney is pretty good, with the ability to move his eyes left and right, and the blinking mechanism is still present, but it's barely noticeable, and instead of having the eyelids being a lighter shade of purple, it was covered in fleece, and it gives him a little bit of a realistic appearance. Now onto the double suit, which is a bit similar to the previous one. However, Barney's neck becomes thinner, and for some strange reason, his eyes are pointed on the right, which I don't understand. They could have easily fixed the eye sockets, and strangely, this particular costume used the feet from season 3 in Barney in Outer Space and Halloween Party, which will cover the videos eventually. Now onto the final version, and the colors of this costume is really strong and really vibrant, and this will be the final time of using that blinking mechanism, and it's such a big departure, unless if you count the via remote in Barney's Great Adventure, which we'll cover eventually. Now we move to BJ, and I will talk about the design changes whenever we get to the home video series, but I will keep it brief. The pupils became slightly bigger, the spots are bigger, the head was slightly smaller, and the frill was more extended. There, I said it. Patty Wirt's vocal range for BJ has gotten so much better, and that is the voice that I'm familiar with. Not to mention, BJ had some of the funniest and hysterical moments in this season.
So, would anyone like to request a song? How about hearing me play my drums? Yeah!
I have a request for all BJ all the time.
Say what?
Would you like a peanut butter sandwich?
Hey, I sure would! Thanks, Barney!
Now on to Baby Bop. In early episodes, just like BJ, this particular costume had the smaller eyelashes and appeared for a few episodes, and then in the episode Let's Eat, their designs have changed. BJ's head became more rounder, and the face has a chubbier and friendlier design, and the mouth movements are barely movable at all. And that particular design is my favorite BJ. As for Baby Bop, her eyelashes are raised higher, and the eyelashes aren't as visible, and the hip becomes loose. And over time, this particular costume became the most used, especially in the hit era, and I will talk about that soon enough once we get to the hit entertainment years. The kids in this season are pretty good, like the twin sisters Ashley and Alyssa, Steven, Kim, Christian, Jeff, and Danny, just to name a couple. Despite appearing in a few episodes, this was unfortunately the last appearance of Maria, which I apologizing for pronouncing her name last time. And the adult characters are good as always. Even the characters introduced in this season, Scooter McNutty and Miss Etiquette, created by Jim Krupa. Don't worry about Booker T. We'll talk about him eventually next season. The performances in this season are great, just as they have been. including David Joyner, who had performed Barney in 13 episodes. After this, Joyner and West left to film the movie Barney's Great Adventure in Montreal, Canada, which we'll cover next time. So Josh Martin filled in David's shoes while he is away, but then tragedy struck. In the episode, Good Clean Fun, the wire of one of the batteries in the head that controls the fan grounded out on a bolt and rubbed the insulation off, causing the smoke to spew out of the mouth and the back of the fleece, as Josh Martin said in Purple Tales podcast in 2019. He was sent to the hospital to be checked for smoke inhalation, so Maurice Scott was brought in to perform Barney in All Mixed Up, and let me tell you, his performances is pretty robotic, and I would agree on the Best Barney Fan too for that, although he would appear in few more episodes in the hit era until 2004. Anyways, back on topic. Duncan Brandon, the third voice of Barney, took the role while West was away.
For a super duper time, come and play with us on Barney and Friends.
But sooner or later, Bob returned to the States to dub over Duncan Brandon's lines.
Oh, I sure am. Lucky for me, there's a tree over there.
It's unknown if a behind-the-scenes reel exists. As for the other Dino characters, well, I'm just going to be talking about BJ, but only in E-I-E-I-O. You see, this episode was performed by Jeff Brooks, but when he left to film Barney's Great Adventure, Adam Brown was brought in to perform BJ in some shots. And that's literally all that I have to say. Although Adam Brown will return to the franchise to play Riff in Season 10 during the hit years. Now I've saved the best for last. Let's talk about Joseph Kenneth Phillips. He was the music composer starting all the way back in 1995 during the time period of A Day at the Park with Barney. Then he started doing the music in some Season 3 home videos, as well as writing songs along with other writers. And then when Bob Singleton was no longer the music composer for the television series, he went on to do the music in this point onwards until the very end of the show. In early episodes, Phillips' music composition was done in Sound Deluxe, Florida, and then when he moved to Texas, he was given a lot of creative freedom in terms of music genres, and his music did not disappoint me. I'm not going to talk about too much about Joseph because I'm saving that for a future top video. Anyways, Barney and Friends Season 4 is a great season and a good start to the lyric era as a whole. The episodes are stellar, like The First Day of School, Oh Brother, She's My Sister, Play Ball, A Different Kind of Mystery, and Once a Pond, a Time. Scooter and Miss Etta are great duos, especially Etta for being a great motherly figure. The sets are pretty to look at, and it's such a great watch, and I would recommend it. So therefore, I give Barney and Friends Season 4 a 9 out of 10. Well, that wraps up today's episode, and I hope you enjoy it. And next time, we're going to be discussing Barney's first theatrical movie before moving to Season 5. This is Dravian Edwards, and Barney's Anniversary Month. We'll catch you on the flip side.
And remember, I love you.